For my brother-in-law Miles' 30th birthday, I drove 20 hours from California and he drove 25 hours from Arizona, and we met in the Canadian Rockies for 9 days of trail runs on some of the most beautiful routes in North America. After a week in the amazing Kootenay, Banff, and Yoho National Parks, for our final day in Canada, we drove south to Peter Lougheed Provincial Park. Our target for the day was the Northover Ridge route, which All Trails says should be only attempted by experienced adventurers. We were hoping that we would fall into this category and not only survive, but enjoy our last big day in the stunning Canadian Rockies.
Good morning from Upper Kananaskis Lake. This is going to be a big route today with at least 20 to 22 miles, 6,000 feet of vert. The highlight should be going up on the Northover Ridge. It's going to be a lot of climbing today. It's going to be a big day.
We began running around the north side of the Upper Kananaskis Lake. Compared to the midsummer in California or Arizona, the Canadian Rockies have so much water flowing everywhere. We made our way across the little footbridges and past rushing waterfalls as we curved around the backside of the upper lake towards Hidden Lake.
This area is absolutely gorgeous with just peaks in every direction. It seems quieter than the Lake Louise and Banff area. So far it's been several miles here on just this overgrown trail, which is whacking our legs with bushes and flowers the entire way. Pretty narrow and not that fast going as it's making its way out and past Hidden Lake.
Just past Hidden Lake, the trail emerges from the forest and starts climbing elevation quickly. We had done well over 100 miles in the last week, and our legs were not feeling fresh as we powered up the rocky trail. Miles and I kept pushing up the trail, and the higher we climbed, the better the views got of the surrounding peaks. The landscape was amazing, and we were shocked we had not seen a single person all morning so far. If this trail was in California, there's no way it could be this quiet. But tucked into the southern end of Alberta, the route was refreshingly unvisited. We made our way under patches of snow and ice and across glacial streams that were flowing down the mountainside.
We have come 6 miles and we've got up to this grassy knoll here. And look at these views. The lake's down below. Got a smaller waterfall with some glacial runoff here to my left. Got the bigger waterfall down to my right. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Miles, this is amazing. Nice.
After the tremendous lookout, we headed back into the wildflower-filled forest and kept cruising up the trail towards Astor Lake. Just before Astor Lake, we got to a beautiful little waterfall, refilled our flasks, and finally, for the first time in several hours, saw a few other humans who were camping out. The section of the route by Astor Lake is gorgeous. The wind picked up as we moved our way down the single-track trail, lined by wildflowers to the lake, which is surrounded by towering peaks.
We are nearly 8 miles in. We've made it past the beautiful campground and the waterfall right below, and now we are at Astor Lake.
The trail goes right on the shores of Astor Lake at 7,400 feet and took us over a few rocky sections as we made our way around the stunning lake. We made our way up to the backside of the lake and the picture-perfect single-track trail started up again. About a mile past Astor Lake, we were climbing again, and we still had nearly 2,000 more feet to climb to get up to the Northover Ridge.
Windy! We're up to 8,000 feet. We have left beautiful Astor Lake back behind. We're coming by some snow that's still left out here, even in the end of July.
We made a right-hand turn and started heading north between Warrior Mountain and Mount Northover. The wind picked up and blew right through the rocky terrain, making us wish we had brought more layers of clothes with us once again. The last push to get to the beginning of the Northover Ridge was tough.
We're up at 8,300 feet. We're in the rock world of scree and talus here. We're making our way around the backside of Mount Northover.
Snow patches hung on even though it was midsummer, and we had to dig our steps in to make sure we got a good grip on the snow and ice. Miles was a real trooper and never stopped. We kept up a solid pace as we made our way up towards 9,000 feet.
Yeah, Miles, good job.
The going was slow, but we were making progress on the steep uphill section.
Woo, making up the steep snowfield here, which is definitely making this route a little more spicy.
The winds howled around us as we finally topped out at the Northover Ridge and were rewarded with some amazing views.
Oh my. Oh, good job. Well done. Oh my goodness. 9,000 feet on the Northover Ridge. It is really windy up here. Since we got up to the ridge here, we're looking down on this enormous glacier on the backside of the ridge, which is really impressive. Yeah, Miles! Yes!
Now we could see why this route is called a Northover Ridge route. The ridge was simply mountain perfection. We rolled along the ridge line, gazing off at the countless mountain peaks which sprawled in front of us in all directions.
This is just absolutely amazing. And the views 360 degrees are just unreal. Northover Ridge! Yes!
Coming from bone-dry Arizona and nowadays nearly glacierless California, Miles and I were loving walking right above the Northover Glacier, which went on the north side of the ridge.
So cool.
I gave Miles my Under Armour shirt, and as long as we kept moving, we were just warm enough, despite the 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts that were blowing over sections of the ridge. We cruised along the sometimes snowy and sometimes rocky ridge for a glorious 45 minutes. The ridgeline is clearly the highlight of this amazing loop.
It just feels like how mountains are supposed to be, with all the snow and the ice and the glaciers up here. This is just one of the best loops I've ever done.
The combo of the giant glacier, green valleys off in the distance, and moody skies with the clouds whipping around us was incredible. So we didn't want to rush through it, given that it was our last day adventuring in Canada, and despite being tired, we knew we would miss witnessing the incredible beauty of this corner of the globe. Most sections were comfortably wide, but a couple sections got a little more narrow, and we carefully made our way along, making sure to keep an eye out on our footing. Unfortunately, we got to the end of the ridge, and we knew that the howling winds weren't going to let us take a lunch break quite yet, so we started descending down the steep rocky ridge. It was slow going to get down off the steep and sometimes snowy ridge. But when we got farther down the valley and out of the big winds, finally we could pick up our pace a little and start cruising towards the greener pastures down below.
We are making our way down here through the snowfields, and we are making our way down straight towards Three Isle Lake up ahead.
We powered through a couple more miles, dropping elevation and getting farther down the trail as we had agreed to take our lunch break at Three Isle Lake.
Woo, off the snow!
On today's lunch menu, we had classic peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Lunchtime. So what are we doing with our sandwich?
Oh, we're throwing some nuts on it.
Oh yeah, peanut butter and jelly with
Spicy nuts.
spicy nuts.
Brian left his bowls back where we ate lunch. You can kind of see him. I'm not sure how to zoom. He's over there running. Just a little update.
Once I retrieved my trekking poles a half mile behind us, it was time to continue on.
That's pretty right ahead, huh? Yeah. That's beautiful.
Our legs were tired as we dropped elevation, and we were looking forward to jumping in the lake at the end of our route. We came down staircases, crossed bridges, and finally came back to the trail junction above Upper Kananaskis Lake.
Downhill time! Heading back towards the parking lot, last mile. Wow, this is a big one, the Northover Ridge. 7 straight days here in Canada, getting some of the highlights of the Canadian Rockies. Uphill. Yes. One more burst.
Almost there.
Look at the view at the finish. This is where the parking lot is.
Almost there. It's good win.
It's a tie. Oh, nicely done, Miles.
Oh, we did it.
Well done. Good job.
Bury me right here. Alright. Oh, that was good.
That was good.
It's good hike.
Well done.
It's good hike. Oh, it was good. It's good. Good last Canadian hike. I'd like to thank the Academy of Trail Runners for always believing in me. Toss me in. I won't even fight you. Alright, just throw me in the lake. Be back.
Oh, we back.
Peace. So
Is it warm?
it is so cold. Oh man, just
Go, Miles, go. Dunk it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, Miles. Oh.
My feet are so tender. Okay.
Here you go.
It was a memorable day sharing the trails with my brother-in-law Miles on one of the most beautiful ridges I've ever seen, and it was the perfect way to cap off our 7 days of trail running in Canada to celebrate Miles's 30th birthday.
I'd like to thank the Academy of Trail Runners